Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. Well, in this episode, we'll talking IRCC invites more candidates in latest express entry draw. So, to get all the information, pay attention and watch the video through to the end. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for upcoming episodes. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. IRCC invites more candidates in latest express entry draw. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, has invited more candidates in the latest express entry draw of 2023. On August 15, the Immigration Department issued 4,300 invitations to apply, IDAs, to candidates in an all-program express entry draw. The minimum comprehensive ranking score, CRS, was 496. Overview of recent express entry results. August 2nd. On the 2nd of August, IRCC held a category-based draw inviting candidates with French proficiency from the express entry pool. The department issued 800 IDAs to those with a minimum CRS score of 435. This was the first targeted draw for French speakers since July 12. August 1st, IRCC held an all-program express entry draw on August 1st, inviting 2,000 candidates from all three programs encompassed within the express entry system: the Federal Skilled Worker Program, FSWP, the Federal Skilled Trades Program, FSTP, and the Canadian Experience Class, CEC. Candidates with a minimum CRS was 517 were invited. July 11-12, IRCC issued 3,800 IDAs for permanent residency, PR, on July 12, under a category-based selection draw for French-speaking candidates. Candidates required a minimum CRS score of 375 to be invited. This was the lowest draw CRS score of any draw in the last month. July 11 marked another all-program express entry draw. IRCC issued 800 IDAs to candidates with a minimum CRS score of 505. July 4-7. This period was one of the busiest in express entry's history, with 4 consecutive draws occurring in this period, a first for the immigration system. On July 7, Canada held a targeted express entry draw for candidates with French language proficiency. 2,300 candidates with a minimum CRS score of 439 were given IDAs through this draw. On July 6, IRCC conducted its second category-based express entry draw for healthcare workers. The department invited 1,500 healthcare professionals in the express entry pool, who had a minimum CRS of 463. On July 5, the Immigration Department held its first ever targeted draw for science, technology, electronics, and mathematics, STEM, workers. This round saw 500 IDAs issued to STEM professionals with a minimum CRS of 486. On July 4, IRCC invited 800 candidates to apply for PR, in an all-program express entry draw. The minimum CRS score for this draw was 511. June 27-28. June 28 marked the very first targeted category-based draw in express entry's history. IRCC invited 500 candidates with work experience in healthcare professions to apply for PR. The minimum CRS score for this draw was 476. June 27 saw another all-program express entry draw. The Immigration Department invited 4,300 candidates from all three express entry programs, with a minimum CRS score of 486. Global tech workers flocked to Canada, 32,000 newcomers in 1 year. Between April 2022 and March 2023, more than 32,000 global tech industry workers came to Canada for work, according to a recent report from the Technology Councils of North America, TECNA, and Canada's Tech Network, CTN. What follows will now go deeper into the report from TECNA and CTN, which highlights some of the top destinations for tech workers across Canada and much more about the tech industry landscape in the country. Understanding the report from TECNA and CTN. According to this report, Canada has attracted significant numbers of tech workers largely as a result of the country's immigration-friendly national policy and labor cost advantage. Aiming to gain insight into how globalization has affected the migration of tech occupations in North America, TECNA and CTN suggest that the rise of remote work has resulted in tech talents more frequently moving away from traditional tech hubs. This, says the report, is partly due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Specific to Canada, the report asserts that the global net in migration of tech talent to Canada remains strong, primarily from India, Nigeria, and Brazil. However, another reason for the booming tech industry in this country is increased investments from US-based tech companies into Canada. These investments have increased, to some extent, due to geographical proximity and a favorable disparity in compensation. In 2022, Canada had more than 400,000 software developers in the country, and the growth of the national tech workforce has not been limited to the bigger Canadian markets. In fact, smaller provinces like Saskatchewan and Newfoundland and Labrador have experienced the most rapid growth in their tech workforces, with a year-over-year growth of 16.3%. Smaller rural Canadian cities, including Windsor, Ontario, have also seen the highest growth in tech workers over the past year, reflecting a shift towards rural locations in part due to the rise of remote work across North America. Note, Windsor has seen a 28% growth in tech workers over the past year. Finally, the joint report from Tecna and CTN reveals that the most sought-after tech skills in Canada include customer experience, Microsoft Azure, analytical skills, Amazon Web Services, React.js, Jira, data science, GitHub, customer satisfaction, and customer relationship management. Where are Canada's most attractive tech hubs? The Tecna/CTN report also highlighted some of Canada's most attractive cities for top tech talent, a ranking that included 2 cities in Ontario, ON, and 1 city in Quebec, QUE, within the top 3. In order, the report ranked Mississauga, ON, in first place, followed by Montreal, QUE, and Waterloo, ON. The following will dive deeper into what makes each of these cities an attractive tech hub for newcomers. Mississauga, a city that is home to nearly 1,000 companies in the information technology, IT, sector alone. Mississauga is part of North America's second-largest information and communication technology, ICT, cluster, with over 300,000 tech professionals in the region. Home to the operations of such globally recognized IT companies as Microsoft, Oracle, IBM, HP, and Cognizant. Tech innovation in this region is also strongly supported by strong local government initiatives such as the Mississauga Innovation and Technology Acceleration Program, MITAP. MITAP is a technology sector program that provides funding, mentorship, and resources to local startups in the region. From a growth perspective, Mississauga is also home to many growing tech firms, including Sodi, Guidewire Software, HCL Technologies, and Infosys. With a population growth projection that anticipates Mississauga will be home to 995,000 people by 2051, a 33% growth from 2016, this region of Canada promises to produce a continuous supply of tech talent going forward into the near and distant future. Montreal. The city of Montreal is home to one of Canada's most robust tech ecosystems, having grown around 31% from 2015 to 2020. Boasting the second largest tech market in Canada, this city is known as a major hub for artificial intelligence, AI, and IT. The chosen site of operations for global corporations including Google, Microsoft, Meta, Samsung, and Intel. Montreal is also where more than 200 game development studios, including Ubisoft, Electronic Arts, and WB Games, are based in Canada. Developmentally, this city is also considered to be a breeding ground for many successful tech firms, a list that includes companies such as CGI, Hopper, Element AI, Imagia, and Nuvei. Furthermore, the city of Montreal hosts several notable startup-focused events, which include Startup Fest and MTL Connect, Montreal Digital Week. Academically, Quebec also provides strong academic support for the tech industry with nearly 18,000 students enrolled in tech programs across the city. Waterloo, a dynamic tech hub that is home to over 1,570 tech-related businesses, including major industry staples such as BlackBerry and D2L. Waterloo ranks among the top 20 startup ecosystems in the world. Looking to the future, this city enjoys a strong academic influence from the University of Waterloo, Wilfrid Laurier University, and Conestoga College, which helps produce and develop a talented tech workforce locally. Waterloo also offers a high quality of life that allows the city to keep attracting and retaining top talent, which is part of why Waterloo has almost double the global industry average survival rate for ICT startups. Waterloo is also a city that attracts significant venture capital investment, speaking even more to its stature as a growing Canadian tech hub. Canada's efforts to attract tech workers from around the world. Understanding the Tecna/CTN report detailed above requires an understanding that Canada is also putting in significant effort to attract global tech talent. This is being accomplished through the government's new tech talent strategy and category-based express entry draws, both of which will contribute to the growth of this sector across Canada by attracting greater numbers of skilled workers in tech occupations across the country. Canada's tech talent strategy. This initiative from the Government of Canada aims to continue building on Canada's progress towards becoming a leader in global tech talent recruitment by developing a new innovation stream under the International Mobility Program, IMP. 1. Promoting Canada as a destination for digital nomads. 2. Improving labor mobility in North America by creating a streamlined work permit for H-1B specialty occupation visa holders in the U.S. to apply to come to Canada. 3. Improving existing programs that cater to workers in high-skill tech occupations. Category-based express entry draws for tech occupations. On June 28, 2023, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, began conducting category-based express entry draws for federal immigration candidates who align with Canada's top economic and demographic needs. For 2023, one of the 6 chosen categories is for immigration candidates with work experience in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, professions. This aligns with Canada's noted desire to bring more global tech talent to this country. As of the time of writing, IRCC has held one category-based draw for this group, on July 5, 2023. During this draw, IRCC invited 500 candidates with a minimum comprehensive ranking system, CRS, score of 486 to apply for permanent residence in this country. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next episode. Till then, take care.